Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Curse of Oak Island. There's disappointment at the money pit but hope on the mysterious stone roadway. This week on episode 20, season 8 of The Curse of Oak Island, the team faced bitter disappointment in the money pit area as their hopes of finding the elusive treasure vault all but completely evaporated. All was not lost, however, as the mysterious stone roadway continues to fascinate and amaze both the viewers and the Oak Island team. The mystery surrounding this rocky road just keeps growing and growing. This season has been somewhat slow burn when it comes to the action. The late start due to COVID-19 coupled with the lack of a major excavation have all contributed to the sluggish nature of this season. And with the cold weather starting to close in, the season is already beginning to wind down. This year, the guys have focused mostly on slow and steady archaeological digging in and around the mysterious roadway. There was some excitement in the last few weeks in the money pit area when they thought they were making progress. But sadly, this came to an end last night. Terry Matheson and Charles Barkhouse had been tasked this season with finding the money pit using the borehole drill. They'd spent the recent weeks following what they thought was a tunnel at approximately 86 to 90 feet. They had hoped to follow it to the money pit. Unfortunately, on last night's episode, they'd lost the tunnel. With the drill pulling up nothing but mud and the end of the season rapidly approaching, it seems as though the guys have given up on the money pit, for now anyway. As mentioned above, on Oak Island at the moment, it's all about the archaeologists, particularly Aaron Taylor and Miriam Emerald, who have been giving the rest of the team a lesson in patience and painstaking hard labor. They have been gradually but steadily unearthing the stone roadway and trying to figure out its direction. They have found an odd structure on the roadway, which so far is unexplained, but the discovery of charcoal suggests it may have been some kind of hearth or fireplace. They also found some hand-painted pottery. Hopefully, they'll be able to get some dating of this stuff done soon. Once again, Aaron pointed out how unusual it is that they're not finding more artifacts. He thinks this is evidence that the folks who built the road were trying to hide their activities. It all adds to the air of mystery and intrigue surrounding the area. Regarding the roadway's direction, they're now pretty much 100% sure it's turning towards the island's uplands, which is great news, as that's where all the treasure is thought to be buried. Perhaps the most interesting revelation this week came in the war room when Craig Tester informed the assembled troops of some scientific dating results. The guys recently found a piece of wood under the stone roadway, probably used as cribbing to help hold the road in place, and Craig's had it dated. Stone roadway could be 300 years old. Intriguingly, the wood was dated between 1489 and 1654, and as it was found under the road, it can be assumed that the road itself is a similar age. That means it's up to 300 years older than the discovery of the money pit in 1795. It also puts its construction at the very beginning of European exploration of America. This episode ended with a huge amount of frustration over the elusive money pit, but the guys remained hopeful the stone roadway will continue to throw up surprises. If the road is indeed 300 years old, its implications could be massive. And as narrator Robert Clothworthy suggested, it could change the way North American history is written. The sun hung low in the Nova Scotia sky, casting long shadows over the dense foliage of Oak Island. The air was thick with anticipation as the Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, stood at the edge of the infamous money pit. They had invested years of their lives, countless hours of research, and millions of dollars into uncovering the secrets buried deep within this treacherous ground. Today, the pit seemed more forbidding than ever, a gaping maw that had swallowed dreams and defied treasure hunters for over 2 centuries. As the heavy machinery roared to life, digging deeper into the earth, Rick's mind wandered back to the countless legends and mysteries that surrounded this cursed island. Tales of pirate treasure, lost manuscripts, and Templar secrets had lured many before them, only to leave them with empty hands and shattered hopes. Yet there was something about Oak Island that refused to let him give up. Each disappointment only fueled his determination to see this quest through to the end. The latest excavation at the Money Pit had promised much. The team had identified a potential vault-like structure at an unprecedented depth. The sheer size of the anomaly, detected by sophisticated ground-penetrating radar, had reignited hopes of a monumental discovery. But as the drill bit penetrated deeper into the soil, anticipation turned to frustration. The anomaly was nothing more than a natural void, a cruel trick of the island's geology. Marty, ever the pragmatist, tried to keep the team's spirits high. "We've faced setbacks before," he reminded them. "Each failure is just another step towards the truth. We're closer than we've ever been." Rick nodded, appreciating his brother's optimism. Yet the weight of disappointment was hard to shake. He glanced at the sprawling machinery, the network of cables and scaffolding, and the weary faces of their dedicated team. They had come so far, but the Money Pit had once again lived up to its reputation as a graveyard of hopes. But Oak Island was not done with them yet. As the team regrouped, Jack Begley, one of their most enthusiastic and dogged researchers, arrived with intriguing news. "We found something on the stone roadway," he announced, his voice brimming with excitement. The stone roadway had been a recent focus of their investigations. A peculiar path of meticulously laid stones, it stretched from the swamp to the uplands, defying simple explanation. Some believed it was a slipway used to transport treasure-laden ships' cargo inland. Others thought it might be part of a larger, more enigmatic construction. With the disappointment of the Money Pit still fresh, the team eagerly shifted their attention to this new lead. They gathered at the edge of the swamp, where the stone roadway emerged from the murky water. As the sun dipped below the horizon, torches flickered to life, casting an eerie glow over the ancient stones. Gary Drayton, the team's metal detection expert, swept his device over the roadway, his experienced eyes scanning the ground for any signs of metallic artifacts. The device beeped erratically, signaling something buried just beneath the surface. With practiced precision, he unearthed a small, intricately carved piece of metal. "It looks like a piece of jewelry," Gary murmured, brushing off the dirt. "Could be centuries old." Excitement rippled through the group. They knew that every artifact, no matter how small, was a clue to the island's storied past. As they continued their search, they uncovered more pieces, coins, tools, and fragments of pottery, all pointing to a significant human presence. Further down the roadway, Rick and Marty examined the stones themselves. Each one had been carefully selected and placed, forming a sturdy path that seemed too deliberate to be merely functional. The precision and effort involved suggested a purpose far greater than mere transportation. As the night wore on, the team made a remarkable discovery. Embedded within the stonework, they found a series of symbols and markings. Some were familiar, echoing the secretive codes and ciphers of the Templars and Freemasons. Others were more obscure, hinting at connections to ancient civilizations and lost knowledge. Rick traced his fingers over the weathered symbols, a sense of awe washing over him. "This is it," he whispered. "This is the trail we've been looking for. The Money Pit might be a decoy, a trap to mislead treasure hunters. But this roadway, this could lead us to the real treasure." The team's excitement was palpable. The stone roadway, with its mysterious markings and hidden artifacts, offered a tangible connection to the island's hidden past. It was as if the very stones were whispering secrets, urging them to continue their quest. As dawn broke over Oak Island, the team gathered to review their findings. The disappointment of the Money Pit was now a distant memory, overshadowed by the promise of the stone roadway.